Hey sixth graders, remember the first 15 minutes of class we spend that time working on MobyMax. So if you've done that already, awesome, keep watching the video. But if you haven't, make sure you pause it now, log into MobyMax, and complete your language lesson for 15 minutes today. Today we're going to look at our drafts again and mark what we might be able to delete. So look for places in your draft where you might be able to delete or take out information that doesn't belong. You're going to mark the margins next to these places with sticky notes that say delete. Imagine reading your draft for the first time. Look for any places that might be confusing or where it might be unclear what's happening. You'll mark the margins with sticky notes that say confusing. Then you'll look at the places you marked with sticky notes and revise those places today. I'm going to model how this might look for you. So here's my draft. My hat is a wondrous place. From the outside, it looks like a simple, slightly worn brown felt hat with black satin ribbon around the brim. No one would guess that when I place it on my head, magical things begin to happen. The first thing that happens is that a nice feeling starts under my hat and travels all the way down to my toes. I hear beautiful music that no one else can hear. When I look around, everything has changed color. Grass is purple and my dog is green. The sky is a strange shade of magenta. Even my own hands look blue. The most amazing thing that happens is that I start to lift off the ground. As I float up and begin drifting over the housetops, I can hear bits of conversations from inside the houses. Meatloaf for dinner again? Turn off the TV until you finish your homework. I took the trash out last time. It's your turn tonight. Just when I start feeling weird about listening in on people's private conversations, I float back down to earth. I take it off and put it back on the shelf. Everything returns to normal. I get a little airsick when I fly. So when I got to the second page of my draft, I found some things that I thought were confusing to the reader and some things that I should just delete. So in the margins, I have my sticky notes and I wrote confusing and delete, and I put them next to the parts that I want to fix. So as I reread my draft, I thought the part that said, I take it off and put it back on the shelf. Everything returns to normal. I thought those lines were confusing, so I have my sticky note beside it saying confusing, and I knew I needed to fix that. I put a line through both sentences showing that that's something I want to delete or take out when I rewrite my draft. And I'm replacing it with a new sentence. So I'm showing that by putting a caret to insert new text. And above it, to clarify what I meant, I wrote a new sentence, and it says, when I take off my hat, everything returns to normal. So now when I rewrite my draft, I know that I will not have this sentence that I crossed out, but instead I'll write my new sentence that I inserted with the caret symbol. As I reread my draft, I also found a part where I thought that I didn't really need the information in the story. It just didn't feel like it really belonged. And that was my last sentence, where it says, I get a little airsick when I fly. So I marked it with my sticky note, and on the sticky note I wrote delete. So I crossed it off. And since I'm not replacing it with anything, I didn't put the caret symbol or insert new text. I just know that that's something that when I rewrite my draft, I am going to take out. So now it's your turn to do the same process with your own draft. You're going to reread it, and then with sticky notes, you're marking any parts that are confusing or things that you should delete or take out of your story. When you finish rereading your draft and marking it with sticky notes, then you'll go back, find all the places you identified, and work on revising it. Remember, as you fix a part, make sure you take off the sticky note from your notebook. We'll also meet with our writing partners today so that way you can read your drafts to them and they can help you find other areas in your story that might be confusing or have ideas that really don't make sense and that you should take out. Just to go over today's agenda one more time, you're doing 15 minutes of MobyMax, then you're rereading your drafts and finding places with information that you think you should delete or parts that are confusing that you need to rewrite and clarify. Once you've marked those places, you're going to do your revisions, and then you're going to meet with your writing partners. With your writing partners, you're going to read them your drafts, and they're going to see if they can find any other parts in your stories that is either confusing or has information that you should delete or take out.